You know this, but the numbers of those who consider online church an adequate substitute for in-person worship have skyrocketed since the stay-at-home orders of 2020. Many now regularly incorporate the online experience as a normal part of their routine, and some have moved exclusively to online participation, never attending in person at all. But I need to say this, barring some extraordinary reason to do so, exclusively and even regularly using the online experience is deeply flawed and sinful. How so? Hang around and we'll talk about it. Hebrews 10:25 commands Jesus followers to not neglect meeting together for corporate worship. As the author of Hebrews said, it had become the habit of some of those to whom he was writing. That's about as clear a statement that neglecting church attendance is sinful as you can get without saying outright, not attending church regularly is a sin. But we live in a digital world, and I've seen people argue that they are attending church when they attend online, and that they even get as much or even more out of the experience. But I don't think that's true at all. My first online church experience was forced upon me when I was home sick with the flu one Sunday back in February of 2013. Our church wasn't live streaming at the time, so I logged into a congregation in Dallas that was an early adopter of online church to kind of see what this online stuff was all about between my coughing. I was greeted by the online pastor, placed in a chat room with others who logged in that morning. Church began, and I immediately knew something was wrong. I knew immediately I wasn't as engaged as I was in person. I was more prone to distraction. And so was everyone in my chat room, based on the nonstop commenting on everything from the song being sung, to whether they agreed with the sermon or not, to whether they liked what the singers were wearing or not. I became immediately aware that I was a voyeur of something and not a participant in something. And if you regularly or exclusively use the online experience as a substitute, you felt the same, if you're honest. But the difficulty of engaging isn't my main problem with the online church experience. My problem with it goes to the heart of what church is in the first place. Regularly substituting the online experience for gathered worship assumes that the main purpose of church is to receive content. But that's a thoroughly unbiblical way of thinking about church. The full passage that commands gathering for worship says this, "And let us consider how to stir up one another to love and good works, not neglecting to meet together as is the habit of some, but encouraging one another, and all the more as you see the day drawing near." Do you see the flow of logic? How do we stir up one another to love and good works? By gathering, not by sitting and absorbing worship music and sermon content from a distance. The point being made is that your spiritual health and your ability to contribute to the spiritual health of your family and other Jesus followers that you care about depends on the embodied, gathered church. It is by gathering that you are moved closer to Jesus. It is by gathering that you move others closer to Jesus. It is by gathering that we are all prepared to be gathered with Him for eternity. So the reason the online experience, you'll notice I'm not even calling it church. The reason that the online experience, outside of extraordinary circumstances like fragile health or global pandemics, or spur-of-the-moment circumstances like suddenly finding yourself out of town and unable to attend a church locally, the reason that regularly using the online experience is sinful is because it's seductive, convincing you that you can benefit as well from it as if you were gathered physically with other Jesus followers. It is sinful because it's selfish. It doesn't help others in their walk with Jesus. And it's sinful because it is short-sighted. It forgets that the end goal of our faith is to be gathered with followers of Jesus in front of Jesus for eternity. Now, obviously, again, there are going to be times that it helps you make the best of a bad situation. I've had to avail myself of online experiences when I've been sick. We had to collectively do it when COVID was running rampant. And I know that our shut-ins are blessed to have this connection with our church family. But if in being honest with yourself, you can see that the online experience has just become a convenient substitute regularly and especially exclusively, then repent and gather with your church family this Sunday. Want to talk about something else? Just ask by emailing justask@bluevalleychurch.org or check out our Just Ask playlist here on the Blue Valley Church YouTube channel or previous reels on the Blue Valley Instagram feed.